I'm Anna, 27.
Standing in the sunlit living room of my new condo, I watch the dust dance in the golden beams that spill across the hardwood floors. It's been a year since everything changed. The windows face east, and I run my fingers along the windowsill, thinking about how different my life is now. A year ago, I was at a crossroads, my world turned upside down by my family. I remember stepping out of a ride, share after a 3-hour flight from San Francisco. I was holding a gift bag with a lavender-colored silk scarf for my mom, Emily. My other hand clutched my laptop bag with the contracts for a $2.5 million marketing deal I'd just closed. I was excited to share the news. But when I got home, there were 15 black garbage bags lined up at the front gate like silent guards. Behind them were my mom and my siblings Jake, Lily, and Tom, forming a wall on the front lawn. Mom had her arms crossed, and her chin was lifted in that way that always made me nervous as a child. Jake, Lily, and Tom stood beside her like loyal soldiers. Neighbors stopped what they were doing to watch. Mom told me it was time for me to be on my own. The bags had my things, and the house was sold. I was shocked. After my dad died when I was 9, his will split the ownership of the family home equally among us. I owned 20% of it, but they sold it without consulting me. They said it was to teach me responsibility and that the new owners wanted immediate possession. I found out later that they'd been planning this for weeks. While I was working long hours on the San Francisco account, they were taking pictures of my bedroom for the real estate listing. They waited until I closed the big deal, so I'd be too busy to fight back. My savings were depleted from paying off student loans, and I had nowhere to live. I also discovered that Mom had opened accounts using my social security number when I was in college, leaving me with $4,000 in unpaid utility bills. I was in a desperate situation. I started looking for apartments, but it was tough. My credit was affected, and I faced one problem after another. Then I met a property manager named Mr.
Thompson.
He recognized my work from a campaign I'd done for his friend's business. He offered me a small, clean studio apartment. During this time, my family was celebrating the sale of the house without me. They posted pictures on social media, and it felt like a knife in my heart. I realized that I couldn't rely on them anymore. A few weeks later, I was getting ready for a follow-up meeting with a San Francisco client. Just then, I got a text from Tom saying that Mom had lost all the money from the house. She'd invested it in a scam. She called me, asking to stay with me temporarily. I was faced with a difficult decision. Should I help her with clear boundaries, or should I cut ties completely? I decided to think about it. I talked to my friend Lisa, and we researched senior housing options for Mom. I also started seeing a therapist, Dr.
Green.
In our sessions, we worked on setting boundaries with my mom. When I met Mom at a coffee shop to discuss her situation, I presented her with a plan. I'd help her financially, but she couldn't live with me, and we'd have family therapy sessions. Mom was initially resistant, but in the end, she agreed. And just as I was leaving the coffee shop, I got an email from my boss. I was offered the position of digital marketing team lead, a promotion I'd been chasing. Now, a year later, things are different. In Dr. Green's office for our family therapy session, Mom is sitting on the couch. She tells Dr. Green about my recent marketing campaign that launched on TV. There's a respect in her voice that I never thought I'd hear. I've come a long way. In my family home, my photography was hidden away. Here, in my new condo, my framed landscapes and portraits greet the sunrise. I've learned my worth, and I'm no longer the person who shrank herself to fit others' expectations. I've created a small grant program for young adults forced out of their homes by family, using my promotion bonuses. It's a way to turn my pain into something positive. As I look at the framed photograph of those 15 black garbage bags in my home office, I know that true healing might not come from forgiveness alone. It comes from building something new from the broken pieces and creating a future where the past wounds no longer define me.